Did you know that half the population in the world eat rice on a daily basis? That's 3.5 billion people. Now that's a lot of rice. To make the perfect fried rice, you have to start with day-old boiled rice that has been kept in the fridge overnight. Start by washing your uncooked rice in warm water until the water runs clear. This may take 3 or 4 washes. Fill the pan with water so it sits approximately 1 inch above the top of the uncooked rice. I use my middle finger as a guide and the water comes up to my first knuckle. Place a saucepan over a high heat and bring to a rapid boil. Once the water has been completely absorbed by the rice and craters start to appear in the top, turn the heat down to low and place a lid firmly on top. Cook for a further 2 to 3 minutes, then turn off your heat. Allow the rice to steam for a further 12 minutes in the residual heat, and remember, no peeking. And there we have it, perfectly boiled rice every time. We can't have a Chinese takeaway without having a rice dish of some description. So you could have boiled rice, but most of us love a fried rice. Here's my pre-prepared boiled rice. Now, I cooked this yesterday. I've allowed it to cool completely. I've put it into the fridge, and the best fried rice is made from cold boiled rice. So I'm gonna add a good 1.5 tablespoons of oil. And the first thing I'm gonna add is my whisked egg. Now I like mine eggy, so there's 2 eggs in here. Just make sure we're covered and we get a bit of a splash on. And we should see egg action straight away. It's gonna start cooking because the wok's hot. So you can see how it's turning up. So there's my egg cooked already. In goes enough rice for a good portion, or for 2 if you're having it as part of a meal. Just give that a quick toss. Now, the key to making great fried rice is in its name. It's fried. Therefore, we've got to make sure that our woks are hot. Yeah, I'm not trying to boil rice. I'm not trying to saute rice. I'm frying it. So make sure there's lots of frying going on. I don't know if you can hear, if I get my mic nice and close to the wok, you can hear the spitting and the sizzling going on. Okay. If for any unknown reason you're cooking and you can't hear that, leave it alone, okay? Just let it get back into the action again. But since mine's spitting, I can keep my rice moving. And all I'm doing with the back of the spoon, and this is something that we did with the big ladles in a restaurant or a takeaway, is that any lumps, I'm just making sure that my lumps are being pressed out. And as the rice reheats, it will naturally want to fall apart and have individual grains. I'm actually going to get my peas in now. So in they go. Now at this point I can add my seasoning. So I'm going to add my dries first of all, and I'm just going to add the tiniest pinch of salt. Now the reason I'm not using a lot of salt is because I'm going to add the soy sauce. Now the soy sauce is naturally salty, especially the light. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit for a start, and if need be we can readjust towards the end. So back in the restaurant and takeaways I've worked at, you'd have a big range. And on this range, you'd have cooking here and cooking here, frying here, fried rice here. And this is where you start as a trainee chef. And all night long, you're just cooking rice. And you learn to toss a wok very quickly because that's all you're doing all night. And especially between the hours of 5 and 7 p.m. It just seems like all of you guys want to eat at the same times, and the phones would be ringing off the hook. And we'll be tossing rice for a good solid 2 hours. That's why my forearms are like Popeyes. Okay, so now my rice is getting nice and hot. I'm going to add a splash of light soy sauce for a little bit of that umami, but predominantly seasoning. That'll be plenty. Don't waste it. Now, dark soy sauce. That's for colour and that really rich, sweet umami kind of flavour. So there's about a splash gone in, and you can definitely taste the difference when you try them just individually. Keep this mixing and keep it tossing. Now I'm just going to give this a quick taste for seasoning. And straight away, I'm getting that caramelization, you know, that chewiness of the rice grains. There, it's well seasoned, it tastes fantastic, and it tastes fried, which is really important. Okay, so wok off. Now, sesame oil, don't use it to cook with. We use it to season or marinate. So, a little squidge of sesame oil, a quick toss around, and I'll grab my bowl. And we've got egg fried rice in about 3 minutes. My Chinese style, or Chinese takeaway style, egg fried rice. I think this is the perfect weekend accompaniment. Last thing to do, chopstick out, and let's tuck in